Yes, everything looks good. And for notations, we are going to use the traditional method paint. Great. Okay. So here we have one problem 100 login, order of n login. Is it true or not? Right? So once now we have this 100 login, 100, 100 n login. Right? Now is it order of n log n or not? Now what they are asking is it order of n log n or not? So if I take c multiplied by n log n, and if I am able to find any c such that this function is less than this function, then we can say it is order of n log n. So if I take c equal to, let's say, 200 or 2000 or even 100 and 101, then this function is less than this function. We just need to prove that it is less or equal to this after n0, after some limit n is greater than n0, greater or equal to n0, right? So definitely it is order of n log n. So first is true, definitely true, right? And solution notebook, I guess I have. Let me open it also. As an exercise all, and this one. Okay, so in case we need it. Okay, still folks are joining. Okay, so next question we have is 2 raised to n plus 1 is order of 2n or not, right? So is 2 raised to n plus 1 is order of 2n or not? So 2 raised to n plus 1, I can write it as 2 raised to n multiplied by 2, right? I can write it as 2 raised to 2 multiplied by 2 raised to n. So this is order of 2 raised to n. This constant doesn't matter, right? So it is order of 2 raised to n. So second is also true, right? So these are some transformation that you will be applying to solve the complex problem, right? So let's have one more problem. It is 2 raised to 2 raised to n, 2 raised to 2n, correct? So
Mayur,
yes.
so for the first also, that is true, right? I
Huh.
just joined. I'm sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay.
First is
Yeah.
also
Okay.
true.
Okay.
100 n
Yeah.
log n is order of n log n. Correct?
100 is a constant, so it will be n log n, right?
Correct, correct. Definitely.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure.
Sure. No problem. 2 raised to 2n. So how can I write it, right? So it is nothing but 2 raised to 2 whole raised to n. It is something like this. Then 2 raised to 2 is nothing but 4. So 4 raised to n, this is 4 raised to n, right? So it is order of 4 raised to n, order of 4 raised to n. And what we have is 2 raised to n. So 4 raised to n is always greater than 2 raised to n in any case, because this is higher. See, in exponential term, higher the term, like bigger this term is 4 raised to n, 2 raised to n, 6 raised to n, it would be like higher the term in terms of asymptotic in terms of big O, right? So higher this term, this exponential, this base term, higher that term would be asymptotically, correct? So 2 raised to n is less than 4 raised to n, so we cannot write 2 raised to n plus 1 as order of 2n. Sorry, 2 raised to 2n as order of 2n, right? Because it is order of 4 raised to n, not 2 raised to n. So say a third statement is false. And I want to highlight one thing here, that see, there is a, like, it is a very basic thing, but it is higher chance that we make mistake, because I was also making one, that where it is, yes, in this thing, uh, there was some note that see, if you have this multiplication na, 2 raised to 2 raised to n, you cannot make it, is not same as this thing. So what I'm trying to explain is, take the higher page, control A delete I can do. Yes, so if I have something like this, 2 raised to 2 raised to n, so this is not same as 2 raised to 2 whole raised to n, right? Because this is 4 raised to n, and this is 2 raised to 2 raised to n, so this is not equal to this, correct? Because this is whole, right? This is 2 raised to 2, this is something like 4 raised to n, and you cannot write as this is equal to 4 raised to n. So this is very core, but there is a chance of making a mistake here, so that's why I'm highlighting. Let's take one more example. Okay, 0 x y.
Mayur, 1 minute.
Yes.
Mayur, before you go ahead with the next example, or for example number three, can you just take log on both sides and solve it? We can
Oh,
discuss the
definitely.
answer.
Why not? See here they have given if it is order of 2n or not, right? We don't want to like compare this thing, correct? And if you want to compare, we can do it also. 2 raised to 2n. I don't know what the sign is. 2 raised to n. If I take log, then what happen is 2n log 2. Log 2 is nothing but 1, and
One.
n log 2. Log 2 is nothing but 1. So if you
Mhm.
compare 2n and n, right? We are see here they are saying this is order of n, right? We are not comparing this function and this function. So 2n is definitely greater than n, right? That's
Okay,
why
so
this
here we
function is
cannot
greater
take
than
out the
2n.
constant 2.
Huh?
We cannot remove the constant 2. Since 2 is constant, we cannot
See,
eliminate it.
see
No, no,
this.
the condition. No, no. Okay, maybe you want me to take this?
No, no, yes,
Okay.
Abhishek, go on, go on.
And so if you remember Rajesh, if you remember the normal condition, it will be like for all n greater than n0, right? So
Hmm.
what will
Mm-hmm.
happen is n is always positive. So even if you take one, the first case, it will be two on the left side and one here, right?
Yes.
So if as you keep on increasing, it 2n will always be greater than n. So it's not constant here because you have already taken the log. Getting it? The condition is that basically the function that c into g of n that should be greater
Mm-hmm.
than equal to f of n. If you
So in
have
that case, then this is true, Abhishek. If you are saying it in that way, then taking log on both the sides will give you the same result, like 2 of. I mean, this should be true, not false then.
no, it is false only, right? See, 2n, see, you're not, the thing is that you're missing that. 2n, when it says it's greater than, when you're comparing 2n and n, when you take log.
No, no, no. We cannot compare that to n and n. What I was trying to compare is, see, if you compare 2n with n, and if you take a constant,
Hmm.
That
uh,
is if you're comparing, see, that's it. If you're saying that 2n is order of n, that it is, obviously, 2n is order of n. Because you can have a constant like 3 on the other side, and that will be equal
yes,
for all n. But you're not comparing
correct.
2n and n, right? That's what I'm saying. The condition that
Okay.
you have to see is like basically is that n greater than n0. So even if you just take normally, okay, 2 raised to 2n and 2 raised to n, just put any value now. Just put n is equal to 1. Just try. Will you ever see 2n being greater than 2 raised to 2n or even equal to?
If you go it in that way, then Abhishek, you're
Yeah.
right.
Get it?
Basically, see what order means is big O is that 2 raised to n. This term should be upper bound to this, and this is not true, right? 2 raised to 2n cannot be upper bounded by 2 raised to n, correct? Because this is 4 raised to n basically, so it would be always greater than 2 raised to n, whatever the value you take, right? After
Okay.
sometimes it would be like greater than this. So you want to be able to find that n0, that this condition would be true, that 2 raised to 2n would be upper bounded by 2 raised to n, correct? And we can draw it here also, but for the interest of time, let's take the tough examples like more today. Okay. Next question. So n to the power x. So this is nothing but polynomial, and n to the power y is also polynomial. Now x is less than y, right? So x can be 2, right? X can be 2 and y can be 3. So now what happen is they are asking is n square is order of n cube. So this is true or not? Definitely true, right? So 4 is also true. Correct, because n square can be upper bounded by n cube, and x is less than y they have given. So 4 is also true. Let me verify the answers one by one. Also, yes, this is true because I have not solved it. I am solving it for the first time after subject one. Correct. Now, next question what we have is n plus k raised to m. So, if you give the this x expansion, binomial expansion, then it would be this polynomial would be of order of m, right? This polynomial would have the order of n. Now, what happen in order of m is the highest term with the n. If you take n plus k raised to m, and if you give the binomial example, the highest term of n would be n to the power m, then m minus 1, then m minus 2, like that. But we are not, we just want to say the highest term, it is nothing but n to the power m. right? So n to the power m, so it is order of n to the power m and omega of n to the power m, that is also theta of n to the power m, that we yesterday saw, right? If the highest degree, if your polynomial, that function is of let's say second degree polynomial, then your o can be of n square, n cube, n to the power 4, like that. Omega can be of n square, n root n, like that. And theta is always the common between two, it is nothing but n square. Not always, but most of the case it would be the common of o, big o and big omega, right? And small o cannot be n square, it is always greater than 2. This is not looking like a small o, but small o should be smaller should be n cube n for n to the power 5, like that, from here actually. And small omega should be from this less than 2 actually, n root n cube root n, like that, correct? So this is n to the power m degree polynomial, n plus k to the power m, so it is of theta of n to the power m, and they are saying not equal to, that means fifth statement is false, correct? Because it is equal to theta of n to the power m, correct? So fifth should be false. Yes, m degree polynomial. Perfect. Let's compare root log n. If is root log n order of log n, so how can we say that? And see, this is nothing but the simple or degree of function, right? So the first is constant, then log n, then log n, then something log to the power something. So it is log to the power 1 by 2. So this this cannot be upper bounded by log n. So this is false, because under root log n is greater than this. Correct. So 6 is also false. Yes, 6 is also false.
But Mayur, opposite can be true, correct?
Opposite can be true. Yes. Okay, and if you want to prove it, it's simple. Just it's log to the power 1 by 2, and here we have log n. So if you take just one log, then 1 by 2 log 1 by 2 log n is greater than log n, right? And while comparing given this function, just if possible, don't remove this thing, this constant. If you have like same terms on LHS and RHS, right? Because strictly we are comparing the functions that they have given, right? Next, log n is omega of 1 by n. So, and see, this can be answered directly. Log n is increasing function, right? Monotonically increasing function, like this. And 1 by n is decreasing function, like this. So it will be always decreasing, going towards 0, right? So definitely this 1 by n, log n can be bounded by 1 by n, because 1 by n is less than log n. So seventh is true. I hope it is true. Yes, correct. So log n is increasing and 1 by n is less than log n. So log n can be lower bounded by 1 by n. Omega, big omega is nothing but the lower bound. Right. So this statement is also true. You can prove it by taking log also. And yesterday we saw like more tough examples. And I am just keeping rest of this thing 8, 9, 10, 11, because it is also easy one. Let's take the 12th one because it is interesting. Okay. So 12th is saying 2 raised to log base 2 n square. Right. So yesterday we saw we have this two thing. Say if you have something like this, if you have log base a and a to the power x, it is same as x, right? Because it would be x log a, and log a base a is nothing but 1. So 1 into x would be x. So this is one identity that we need to remember, and this is second identity. A to the power log base a x is also x. Intuitively, these two are similar. So a to the power log a x is nothing but x, right? So here we have the base a equal to 2, and here we have also base a equal to 2. Base is also 2, right? So this thing and this thing is similar. So this is nothing but n square. And what they are asking is n square is order of n square. Yes, definitely. Correct. So these two are identity that we should know. because the simpler question can be converted into medium hardness question by doing this transformation, right? All rest are 8, 9, and 10 are really easy. 8 is just the repetition of sorry, 9 and 11 are repetition. Next, okay, this is beautiful. Third question I'm going to solve now. These two we saw yesterday, kind of these questions, right? Actually, they're tougher than this question, but this is really beautiful. This question number three. I don't think so that we will face this in exam, because this was not covered in our. This kind of questions was not covered, I guess. So let's see. What they are saying is f is defined something like this: n cube and n, where it is n cube when when n is between 0 to 10,000. After 10,000, it is n. Right now, what is g of n? G of n is nothing but n when n is less than 100, right? And after 100, it is n cube. Now, what will happen is, now they are asking, we need to compare this to function, and compare it, like which is order of, like f is order of g or g is order of f. Basically, after some point, which is lower bounded, upper bounded by other function, right? So how can we tackle this kind of question, right? So see, they have given, if you see intuitively, we have three, or specifically two limits: 100 and 10,000. So we have the limit of n, that 0 to 100, and then 100 to 10,000, and after 10,000, right, greater than it. Then 0 to 100, what is the value of f and what is the value of g, right? We have so many colors, I like this. So what is the value of f when up to n is less than 100? Then what will happen? It is n cube. So f is n cube. Up to 10,000, it is also n cube. And after 10,000, what is happening is it is n, right? And what about g? Up to 100, it is n, and after 100, it is n cube. So up to 10,000, it is also n cube, right? And after 10,000, it is also n cube. So if I take the threshold here at 10,000, threshold can be k or n0. So n0 is nothing but 10k. So if I take threshold at 10k, then now what will happen? After this point, my f is n and my g is n cube, right? So which is greater than what? So f is less than g, right? So f is upper bounded by g. So f is basically order of g, correct? So f is order of g. Any questions, guys? In this type of question, just concentrate more on this threshold point, 100, 10,000, like this, and write the function, like what is the function, like corresponding function at that limit, correct? I guess the idea is clear, and
I think Mayur from 100 or 101 also that'll be the lowest n, I think, from where you will see
from
this
100.
relation. Yeah, after 100 you can see this because both are n cube, right?
Oh
And
yes, yes, yes,
again,
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
you
yes,
can
yes,
just
yes.
compare. You can just say C is 2 or something.
Definitely. N0 we can take 100 also. Yes, yes, yes. N cube is also order of n cube, and n is also order of n cube. So yes, yes, yes. Definitely. N cube can be upper bounded by n cube by taking c equal to 2 or c equal to 3. Right? Yes, yes. Thank you, Abhishek, for pointing this out.
Yeah,
Okay. Here I had this cloud. I was finding this cloud basically. The 2 raised to n square is not equal to 2 raised to 2n, and this is the thing that when we can take the multiplication. Okay. N cube and this function, yes. Okay. And see, if they ask for small o, I guess this was discussed by Khalil sir also. Very beautiful session, I must say. That after 100, after n0 equal to 100, f is big O of g. But after, if you take n0 equal to 10k, then your f is small o of g, right? Proper upper bound, right? N cube is, you can say, small o. but you cannot say n cube is small o. N cube cannot be proper upper bounded by n cube, because if you take c equal to zero point 0.5, this would be false. And as per the definition of small o, for every value of c, this should be true. This should be true, that f is less than g. Correct. So after n0 equal to 100, f is capital O of g, and after n0 equal to 10k, f is small o of g. Right. Okay. Arrange the function. Let me open the exercise. My handwriting is not beautiful. Arrange the function in from positive integer to real number. Oh, what is this? Correct arrangement in the increasing order of asymptotic complexity. Right. So we have some A, B, C, D. Okay, we have options. I'm not going to cover it because this is straightforward. 100 by n would be first, then root n, then n, then sorry, then log n, then root n, then n. Right. Uh, okay. Huh. Here comes the fun part. Okay, so now we will jump on to like how to solve the recursive algorithm, how to solve the like what is the complexity framework basically for the recursive algorithm, right? Because it is not straightforward as the iterative one, right? Because if you have the iterative algorithm like this, I guess we have iterative algorithm also in some exercise, I guess it was there. Huh. This is iterative, you can say algorithms, not algorithm, but iterative loops. If you have, then it is really easy to find the time complexity, right? Just calculate the number of iteration that you are performing, correct, or number of core calculation that you are performing. Yesterday we saw this thing, and there are like a couple of pattern. If something is increasing or decreasing by some constant k, that plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 like this equal to c plus 1, or k equal to k minus 1 like that, then it is mostly order of n. Mostly, yeah, because they can add one more loop and it would be n square, right? So mostly that core loop is mostly of order of n. If something is in multiplication like this, j equal to 2 multiplied by j, 3 multiplied by j, or even k multiplied by j, 4 multiplied by j like that, then it is mostly order of log, right? And if something is increasing in this way, I guess we don't have that example here. If something is increasing in this thing in j multiplied by j, that is nothing but j square, right? In exponential, I equal to I square, in next iteration again I will take square whatever I have, 2 then 4 then 16 256 like that, then it would be of order of log n. Yesterday we saw that example also, right? So in iteration it is really easy to compute, but in recursion we need to take care of like a recursive call, right? Recursive call first. Second, what is the amount of work that you are doing like after one recursion, right? It is possible that after one recursion that you are doing an amount of work, right? To We will start with the time complexity analysis of merge sort first, right? So let me open the notes. Algebra notes, maybe I guess this is the one. Okay, recursion is not here. Algebra calculus is an pdf. uh, I'm missing that note. Let me open it from Telegram maybe. Not this one. That merge sort I want to explain. Okay, leave it. I will just download it again. Just give me a moment. So what I want to explain is let me write and explain. So in merge sort, what we are doing, we are just taking the array, right? And at each recursive call, what we are doing is we are dividing it in a half, right? N by 2. Now n by 2 would be again divided by n by 4, n by 4, right? So we will have 4 parts of n by 4. But at each recursive call, after dividing it to k level, when we have just one element each, right? One element each. Then what we will do, we will try to like merge them, right? First we will divide, then we will try to conquer, that means we will try to merge them in the order, right? And how the merging is performed, it is not topic for today. We will just take the smallest one, put it in the bracket, then take the second, then second. We will actually have two loops, and then we will merge them, right? So what we are doing is at each level we are doing the work of n, right, to merge them, right? So this is nothing but the work that we need to perform at each level, at recursive call. And how many recursive call we are making, it is nothing but of log n is equal to log n, that we can derive using the tree method or using the back substitute method. So the total work that I'm doing is n plus n plus n plus n up to log n time, so it would be n into log n, right? So this is something that, this is the work that we need to do at each recursive call, right? So this can be merging operation, this can be simple multiplication operation, then it would be order of 1. It could be also one more recursive call by n by 2, right? So then they and some function that we are calling, right? Some function that we have written to fetch let's say some data and sorting them and like that. So it reach a recursive call, we are doing some work, we are checking the condition, if recursive call is done or not, then we are breaking the recursion, right? So, and we are multiplying it with how many times the how many calls we are doing, right? So this is nothing but the simple intuition behind the merge sort, like how we solve it. And by the time this telegram is opening, let's start with the first example. I don't know like what are the odds why it is not opening today. Subject 3 notes v1 pdf. I don't, nah, this is not that. Is an exercise, all calculus notes. Okay, leave it, no problem. Let's start with the first example, that algorithm. So we have one algorithm, then it is checking if n equal to 1, then it is returning, right? So this is the, you can say, condition, break condition, right? And in recursion, I guess it is called the end, or what is that term? I'm not able to get it. Does anyone remember what is the name of this condition, that it will break the recursion loop? There is a specific name. Base condition, yes, 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 base case, yes, yes, definitely. Thanks guys. So this is the base case, right? When n would be equal to 1, then it will return, right? So the recursive call would be over, else it will call n minus 1, right? And it will call one function b of n, right? So b of n can be, you can think of in real life, it is just getting the all the data of users and sorting them, right? All it is just finding some specific user, right? So it is possible when you are writing algorithm, you can have so many functions defined, right? And each function can have order of like complexity, order of n, or order of n log n, or of or order of 1. So b of n is nothing but the some function call, right? So in each recursion, what I'm doing is I'm just comparing this base case. If it is not the case, then I am just calling n minus 1. Again, I am calling the function, and I am calling one more function b. And this b can be order of anything, 1, n, 1 upon n, like that. So we will take all three cases, right? Uh, yes, this is the PDF, I guess. Yes. So this is what we have. If n equal to 1, return, else this is the case. I just wrote it in the Python format from C, right? And this case 1 bn is nothing but order of 1. That means we are just taking the input of username and password, right? So it would be order of 1 always. And second case is order of n, we are just doing the linear search to get the particular roll number, right? So you can think of that scenarios, right? So this is the function call that we are making at each stage, right? And this b of n can be of order of 1 by n also, just hypothetical thing, right? Now how can we solve that? And see, now this t of n would be c, constant time, when n equal to 1, because it will just return from that. This is the base case, right? If n is greater than 1, now what will happen is n is not equal to 2. Then what will happen? I will call this function again, t of n minus 1. I'm just checking else case, right? I'm making one comparison. That's why I'm having this constant a, and I'm calling the function b, this function b, and I'm taking it as a order of 1 first, right? First case, it is order of 1. So it is also, you can say, constant time function, right? And don't worry if you're not able to make this kind of a equation right now, because in exam we won't be given this type of a code and we want to make this recursion, you can say, case. But it is really, you can say, important to understand like how to write this function, right? Recursion function, and now how to solve it, right? So first I will try to solve it in I don't want to show the solution first, so you have the intuition like how to solve it. So how, now what we have is plus some constant d, right? So how back substitution method work is, see, this is the first call that we are making, right? First call means if I have t of 4, I will call t of 3 and I will check the condition, right? All b of n. So b of n is order of 1. I am checking if n equal to 1, is it is also order of 1, right? Constant time. So I am just checking constant time, right? So it is again calling the function again, right? So this is called the recursion. Now what will happen, this t of n minus 1 will call the function again, right? T of n minus 1 will call the function again. So n minus 1, what is that? N minus 2. And it will have some time d for making the comparison, calling the b. And this d was already there. So this d plus d would be nothing but 2d. D plus d, it is nothing but 2d. And this is call number 2, right? This is the recursion call number 2. What will happen now at the third step? This t of n minus 2 will call n minus 3, right? It will again have some time, it will take some time to compare, make the if condition, run the if condition in b of n, right? So t of n minus 3 plus d plus 2d is nothing but 3d. So this is the third call, right? Now after taking two or three call, and it is always better to have three calls, then you can generalize it well. Now let's say I am making total k calls, right? In merge sort we just saw, right, it is making log n calls, right? So we just want to find out how many calls we are making and how many amount of work we need to do. So what will happen at kth call, right? So this is what we need to generalize now. Now at first call it is n minus 1 and 1 d, at second call it is n minus 2 and 2 d, so 2 2 2 3 3 3, so k k k, as simple as that, plus k d. So this is kth call, right? Now we have generalized the formula of T of n, and now we want to find out what is the time complexity. So what we will do is, when this loop will terminate, right? Answer me, like when this loop will terminate, when this n minus k equal to 1, right? Because when n equal to 1, then this loop will terminate, right? So T of 1 is nothing but order of 1. T of 1 is nothing but when I have n equal to 1, then it will return, right? Any doubt, guys? Because this is the simplest example I'm taking, then we will directly, I will directly solve from this exercise, sorry, this notebook, right? So t, when this will terminate, when my function call t of n minus k is nothing but t of 1, that is n minus k is nothing but equal to 1. So what is the value of k I am getting? N minus 1. Now when n minus k equal to 1, it is nothing but t of 1, and t of 1 we already know is order of c. You might ask where it is. Here it is. When n equal to 1, t of 1 equal to c, constant time, right? So it is order of c now. Now what I'll do, let me put it here and try to write it again. Okay, now what I'll do, n minus k equal to 1, right? So this equation now I can write it like this: t of n is nothing but t of 1, n minus k is equal to 1, plus k. I know what is the value of k. K is nothing but n minus 1 multiplied by d. So what I'm having is t of 1 is constant times c, n into d is nd, and d into minus 1 is d. Right? So this is constant, this is constant, this is also constant. So this is nothing but order of n. So t of n is nothing but order of n. Any questions, guys? So it is as simple as that. We have one equation. We know this just one equation. What we need to do is just take that equation, try to like generalize it up to kth order, right? We just put n
Yeah.
t of n minus 1 is n minus 2 plus d, right? So n minus 2 plus d is 2d. Then we put the value of n minus 2. So what is the value of t of n minus 2? It is t of n minus 3 plus d, right? So t of n minus 3 plus d plus 2d is nothing but 3d. Now we generalized at the level k, right? So at level 3 it is 3 and 3 here. So at level k it would be k and k here, right? And this loop will terminate, and see, k level is nothing but the last recursion call. Level k is nothing but the last recursion call, right? And if this is the last recursion call, then definitely n minus k equal to 1, because t of 1, when n equal to 1, then n only it is order of c. So n minus k equal to 1, so I know k equal to n minus 1. So I put everything back into the main equation, and I got the answer, order of n, right?
Mayu, can you just explain how did you arrive with the first equation? I
First
understood
equation.
the process. Yeah.
Okay, this a plus t of n minus 1 plus b, this one.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, so see, at nth call, when n equal to 1, it will return, right? When n is not equal to 1, then what will happen? I will first run this. If n equal to 1, I will check the condition, right? So it will cost me some memory power, some CPU power, right? Time complexity. So it is order of a. A is nothing but some constant time it will take, correct? Or you can say it is order of 1 also, right? And 1 is nothing but constant. That's why every constant is n equal to 1, b equal to b plus 2. All these mathematical comparisonal operations are constant time consuming, right? Because it will cost you some CPU cycles. If you're from micro this department, electronics, then we have some CPU cycles, right, to perform any operations, right? So it is constant time a. Now what it will run else, in this else condition, if it's not true, then it will make the function call again, what of n minus 1. What is nothing but my function name, right? Factorial of n minus 1, like that, correct? So what of n minus 1 will take t of n minus 1 time. So t of n is nothing but the time taken by your algorithm, t of n, right? So t of n minus 1, and then I am making the call to this function b of n, and this b of n is also of order of 1. So I am writing one more constant d b. So a plus b I can write it as d, because this is constant, this is constant. So this is one work that I'm doing, some constant work that I need to do at every recursion call. Is it clear now?
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. Okay. Order of n, and see it, if you want to go one more step like deeper, I am like refraining myself to go into much deeper because we have less amount of time. See, what we are doing is we have n amount of work to do. Now, at every recursive call, I am just doing one unit of work, right? T of n, I am converting it to T of n minus 1, right? I am just doing one unit of work, right? At next stage, n minus 2. At next stage, n minus 3. At kth stage, n minus k. So, if I have 10 unit of work, then how much time I will take? 10, right? 10 second, 10 unit of time. Because I am doing one unit of work at each recursion call, right? And then n minus 1, n minus 3, n minus 4, up to 0 or up to 1. That is order of n, because I am doing whatever the value I have, n equal to 100, then I will do 100 work. n equal to 1000, I will do 1000 work. So it is order of n, right? And if you want to use the tree method, now what we are doing is I am having n amount of work, then I am converting into n minus 1, then I am converting into n minus 2. I am going up to 1. When n equal to 1, I will stop, right? Because it is the base condition, base case. Correct? So what is the height of this tree? And see, at each iteration, I am doing some constant work, right? Not related to n. Whatever the value of n is, I am doing the constant work. That is nothing but the comparison and b of n, calling the b of n, right? So C, 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 C. So how many C are there? The height of the tree is nothing but n multiplied by C. So this is the amount of work that I am doing. So n into C is nothing but order of n, right? So tree method is like very useful when you have straightforward, you can say cases, right? Okay, let's take the another case when b of n is order of n, right? Now what will happen? Let's try to write the equation. It would be good exercise for me also and practice also. Okay, and believe me guys, I haven't done homework today, so this is first time I'm solving. Okay, so b of n is nothing but order of n. Now what will happen? So t of n is equal to c when n equal to 1. So this is trivial when n equal to 1, right? This is trivial, correct? Now what will happen if as otherwise case OW, I will make some comparison that is order of a constant time. Then I will make the recursive call. T of n minus 1 work I am doing. B of n is order of n, so it is nothing but n, right? Finish. So T of n minus 1 plus n plus a, or d or c, w, any letter you can take from the English ABCD or Greek ABCD, anything you know, right? So this is constant you can take. T of n minus 1 plus n plus a. Let me verify it if it is correct or not. Yes, right. So let's try to solve this. Then we will use we will not waste much time now. So let's try to solve this. How can we solve this? So t of n I'm having, it is nothing but t of n minus 1 plus n plus some constant d, right? I don't like a. Let's take this d, n multiplied by d. Okay, so if I put the equation of t of n minus 1, what it would be? N, then it is n minus 1 and end. So what would be the equation of n minus 1? It would be a t of n minus 2 plus n minus 1 plus d. Yes or no? Correct. So this is the equation for t of n minus 1. And these two were there, only these two kids were there. So we can't keep it away. So n plus d I have. So let me frame it beautifully. So it will look something like this: t of n minus 2, n plus n minus 1, right? And don't put 2n minus 1 like that. Just a tip. Plus d is nothing but 2d. So this is nothing but the second recursive call. This is first recursive call. What will happen at third recursive call? T of n minus 2 would be, I hope you get this right, guys. N is nothing but n minus 1 here and n here. So t n minus 1 is nothing but n minus 2 here and n minus 1 here, right? So n minus 1. So n minus 1, n minus 1, n minus 2, like this. So t of n minus 2, then I will have something like this: t of n minus 3 plus n minus 3. So I will write something like this: n minus 2. I need to copy it like this: n minus 2. So it is n minus 1, then n minus 2 plus d. So d plus 2d would be 3d. So I'm having something like this. Let's try to generalize it if we can generalize. So this is third recursive call. So what will happen at k recursive call? T of n should be. Is there any question? I guess someone was thinking in the chat. Having issue with the power at my place, please upload it on YouTube. Definitely. T of n equal to See, at second level I am going up to n minus 1, right? So at 2 I am having 1, at 3 I am having 2. I'm talking about this series, right? This is trivial, n minus 2, n minus 3, so I will have n minus k. This is trivial. Now what this series will look like: n minus 1, n minus 2. If it is 3, I am going up to 2 level, second level. So if it is k, I should go up to k minus 1 level. Yes or no? One level less than this. 2 minus 1, 3 minus 1, so k minus 1. And n minus 1, n minus 2, up to n minus k minus 1. Yes or no? So here I have 3, here I have 3. So here I have k, I should write k d. So this is the generalized formula I have. So the issue is resolved, right? Now let's see now how to move forward. So when this loop will terminates when n minus k equal to 1, as easy as that, right? So when n minus k equal to 1, this loop will terminate, correct? Uh, Now this k equal to n minus 1, n minus k equal to 1, right? So t of n minus k is t of 1 equal to c. I am just talking about the first term, right? And your approach should be something like this. First try to solve first term, then the second series, then the third one, right? So if I want to solve the first one, t of n minus 1, it is nothing but t of 1 equal to c constant term. And let's talk about the last term first, k into a. So I need to know what is the value of k. So value of k is nothing but n minus 1. Okay, so that is also resolved. Okay, now I have k minus 1, so k minus 1 is nothing but n minus 2, or n minus k minus 1 is nothing but 2. Simple mathematics, k equal to n minus 1. If you put k equal to n minus 1 here, then what will happen? N minus 1 minus 1. So this n and n will cancel out, minus 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 2, minus minus plus, so it would be equal to 2, right? So this term would be equal to 2, right? So if I write everything now, I have solved for first term, last term, and the middle series. So it will look something like this: t of 1 plus n minus 1, n minus 2 plus plus up to 2, right? Because this term is 2, we just solve this, right? N minus k minus 1 is nothing but 2, plus k equal to n minus 1 a. Okay, there is no term with related to k, so we are good to proceed. Now this is trivial. N minus 1 into a is nothing but na minus a, and t of 1 is c. Now what about this series, right? So this series is nothing but the reverse. I have written the arithmetic progression: 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus up to n. So I have just written it in the reverse order: n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to 2, right? Just 1 is missing. So if I write 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to n, it is nothing but n plus n into n plus 1 by 2. So what this series would be if I start from 2? So I just subtract 1 on both sides, right? Reduce 1 on both sides. So it is nothing but n plus 1 by 2 minus 1. So I know the value of this series now. So let's put the value in the series. So it is nothing but n square by 2, n by 2 minus 1, n a minus a, and t of 1 is c. So the highest degree polynomial here is n square. The degree of the polynomial, not highest degree polynomial. The highest degree of given polynomial is 2. So it is nothing but order of n square. Right? I guess the idea is clear, right? Because the things are going to be crazy now. These two were like, you can say, the starter. Simple starter. Okay. Now we have some sizzler now here. Uh, after soup. So let's take the last case. Then when b of n is nothing but order of 1 upon n, right? I guess no algorithm is order of 1 upon n, but let's think of hypothetically. Right now, what will happen if I write the equation now? If condition will take the constant time a, then I'm making the call recursive call t of n minus 1, and I'm calling my function b, which is of order of 1 upon n. So it is 1 upon n. Now let's try to solve it. So t of n, this is my way of solving it. T of n is nothing but t of n minus 1, 1 by n plus a. T of n minus 1 is t of n minus 2, n minus 1 plus a. I am just, see, if n is here, n is there, right? And just subtract 1 from it, right? So n, then n minus 1. So if it is n minus 1, n minus 2, 1 upon n minus 1. So I have just written this equation for 3 times. Now I will generalize it, right? So t of n is nothing but t of n minus 3, this term plus this term plus this term, a 1 upon n plus 1 upon n minus 1 plus 1 upon n minus 2, a plus a is nothing but 3a, correct? So I will just generalize the equation. You can do it another way also. Just put the equation of t of n minus 1 first, then generalize it, then put the for you can say value of t of n minus 2, then get the value of at third recursive step, right? And after doing all the after doing 3 recursive step, then you can generalize it for kth recursion call, right? Or kth iteration, you can say, but it is recursive call more, you can say, this technically. Okay, so now, see, if you think it is similar as previous problem, n minus k should be equal to 1. So k is nothing but n minus 1. So this term is sorted out, right? And this term is sorted out. K minus 1 is also sorted out. Cool. Now, what about this series, right? Let's try to solve this series. See, we know one series of log n, that 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 up to 1 by n is order of log n, right? And I guess it is series for log n also. So it is order of log n that were given, I guess, in yesterday's one of the example. Now we have the series up to 1 by 2. See, n minus k minus 1, if you put k equal to n minus 1, n will cancel out and it would be 2, right? So it would be up to 1 by 2, right? So c plus 1 by n, 1 by n minus 1 plus 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 up to 1 by 2. So how to solve for this series? So this series we know it starts from 1, 1 plus 1 by 2, 1 by 3 up to 1 by n is log n. So if I take 1 on from LSH to RSH, then it would be log n minus 1. So we know the formula, you can say the derivation of this series, it is nothing but log n minus 1. So let's put log n minus 1 back into the equation. So it would be c plus log n minus 1, n minus 1 into a, it's nothing but na minus a, right? Just simple multiplication. Now what will happen if you think yes, now see, I can remove all this constant term 1 c and a and put the one more constant term sd, right? I have one term log n and another term is n into a, right? N into a. So what is the order of this thing, right? It is order of n. Why? Because log n is less than n. So if you take n equal to, let's say, 1000, then log n is nothing but just 3 and n equal to 1000. So n will grow asymptotically very much faster than log n, right? So n is greater than log n in functional order, asymptotic order, right? So it is order of n, right? It is not order of n plus log n, because there should not be any plus sign in the asymptotic notation, not hard and fast rule. But order of n plus log n is order of n basically, correct? Because log n will grow very much, you can say, slower than n. N is very very faster than log n, fast than log n, right? So it is order of n. In order, this big O is always upper bound. Keep in mind. So n will upper bound log n, not log n will upper bound n. So it is order of n. Correct? Okay, guys. So okay, this is simple. Huh. So here we have t of n something like this, root n. I guess this was asked in exam also. I believe so. I'm not sure, but there was some question with root n or something like this, root n or root c or something like that. So we have this algorithm. What it is saying is, algorithm a of n is defined something like this: if n equal to 2, then return. So this is base case, right? When this function will terminate, what is the termination condition or base case? It is n equal to 2, return, right? And else I will call this function again with root n parameter, right? So if n equal to 100, I will call a of 10, then I will call a of root 10, then I will call root of root 10, like that, correct? So it will go something like that. Okay. Now Let's try to make this equation. So if n equal to 2, I am just returning, correct? So it is order of c. Just this if condition will run. Now when n is greater than 2, then what I am doing is I am just making one comparison. It is order of d, and I am calling the function again, so it will take root n time. So t of root n. So let's see how to solve that, right? So this root n can be written something like this: n to the power 1 by 2, right? Now I need to know what is the value of n to the power 1 by 2. This is sometime confusing, so let me write it fresh. T of let me change the color. T of n is nothing but t of n to the power 1 by 2 plus d, right? Now I can write this as t of n to the power whatever the value I am having here. 1 is divided by 2, so 1 by 2 is divided by 2 again. So t of 1 by 4 n to the power 1 by 4 plus d is constant, so plus d, right? So this is plus d, then I am having plus d from here also. So this plus d and plus d would be 2d, correct? So let me write it directly. It's 2d. This is second call. Let's make the third call. So it would be t to the power t of n to the power again divided by 2, right? I am just dividing by 2, right? 1 by 8 plus 3d. Now I want your high attention that with the coffee or cappuccino, if you think, or tea. So how to generalize it level k, right? So if it is first level, then it is 1 by 2. If it is second level, then it is 1 by 4, right? And if it is third level, then it is 1 by 8. This d is very, you can say, easy, like 1 2 3, so it would be kd for sure, right? So this is solved. So how to write this term, right? How to write this term? So it would be looking something like this: n to the power, this 1 is common, right? 1 1 1 1 1 1 divided by, at 1 I am having 2, so it is nothing but 2 raised to 1. At 2 I am having 4, 2 4 ja 4, so it is 2 square. At 3 I am having 8, right? So it is not 3 2 ja 6, it is 8, so it is nothing but 2 cube. So at level 1 I am having 2 to the power 1, at level 2 I am having 2 to the power 2, at level 3 I am having 2 to the power 3. So at level k I am having 2 to the power k. Any doubt, guys? Any confusion? Everyone awake? Not sleeping? At level k I am having 1 divided by 2 to the power k, right? It is easy, right? 1 2 3, it is increasing in the order in the power. 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3, then 2 to the power k. It may happen. Okay, let's let that question come, then we will see that case. Okay, so this is generalized. Now what we need to do is we need to equate this equal to 2, because this is nothing but the base case. So this loop will terminate when n to the power 1 by 2 is equal to 2. N to the power 1 by 2 is equal to 2. So let's do that. Let me put it here. This is not looking good, but okay, that's fine. When n to the power 1 by 2 raised to k is equal to 2, then this loop will terminate, right? Now, if I take log on both sides, this exponential would be in multiplication. So I will have 1 by 2 raised to k multiplied by log n, and I am taking of base 2, not log 2, log n. And if I take log here, log 2, log base 2 of 2, it would be 1 actually. Now, this would be 1. Now, this is 1. So, if I take this denominator this side, then it would look something like this. Log n is nothing but 2 raised to power k. Correct? Now, if I take log again, it would be log n equal to k log 2. K log 2 is nothing but k. Log 2 is 1. So I know the value of k is nothing but log n. So I need to put k here, and this is nothing but t of 1 is c. Right? So it is nothing but order of log n. So if I put k equal to log n here, so it is nothing but c plus log n multiplied by d. So it is order of log n, right? Okay. Let's take one more example. I'm not going into program now. We just have this recursive equation, and we need to find out the order, right? What is the order of this algorithm? Let's take actually 1 minute break. It is always it is already 11:11. Right, let me have some water, and by that time, guys, if you have any question, feel free to unmute, guys, because this is the heaviest and toughest part of subject one as per my point of view. I'm just seeing it like what all monsters that we need to solve today. Oh, okay, we can skip this question number 14. Okay, star, great.
Mayur are taking these questions from Professor Khalil's notes, na?
Yes. Because it was really good exercise that we are expecting from applied AI from next semester.
Mm.
Because what they are doing is they are teaching theory and asking this type of question in exam. I like the style of
Ah,
Professor
that was
Khalil
really
actually.
strange.
Today the session was about that only.
So at least because of two mock tests, we understood what kind of questions they are asking. If there was directly the exams, then many of would have failed.
Definitely. But still I miss one question. I like we knew right what is the style. Still, I
Hmm.
missed that SVM question, but due to one engineering hack, I was able to get the answer and it was correct. That alpha was given, right? And we need to predict that dual form of SVM. So I thought dual form of SVM we are not like using anywhere. So it is not important. So I didn't make any Excel sheet or try to solve it. And then it was in exam. So
Actually,
it
for that,
happens.
I was not able to remember the predictions, how we need to calculate that.
So
The
actually,
solution of,
we can apply
yeah,
one
solution
hack.
of phi or something.
Like we can apply one really beautiful hack. Actually, in all this prediction question, and definitely, I'm going to discuss like one or two hacks that I found out for the subject three. Um, okay, it is asking for login. I will discuss it like in subject subject three. But to give you the context, what I did is there were 6 points given, right? That positive and negative. I just
Hmm.
draw the graph, the rough graph, and I put all the positive points. It was looking something like this, and negative was looking something like this. So definitely the plane would look something like this, and given three query point it was lying somewhere here, and one point was something somewhere here. So
Okay.
everything was looking positive except this. So I just took a guess and marked the answer. And luckily it was correct. Because
Hmm.
SVM is just finding the plane, no, so we can put
Hmm. Correct.
all the points. Just a jugaad, you can say, because in DNA we have engineering.
Yeah, sometimes that works.
Definitely, it worked actually. So I
But
was praying for that question, like if I
yeah, we
get a
cannot
mark.
rely on that all the time.
Mm. And one more question, I also like do Jai Mata Di, and it was that Euclidean and cosine distance question. That circle and x1, x2, x3, x4. I don't know how to solve it. Like I it didn't click like in at that time that we can use that relationship between Euclidean and cosine. So I
Even
just
that,
mark it
yeah, that
directly
was.
like less than diameter.
Mm, even I tried, but I was not able to frame
Uh,
that equation. So I
uh,
said it's not worth investing more time in that.
mm. Even I didn't get idea. Let me be honest. I even don't know
Mm.
like how to solve this question. I just applied some Pythagoras and tan theta cos
Ah,
theta
in
tan.
that only some max I even I
Uh,
tried. I whatever knowledge base we were having.
mm.
That final equation I was not able to get it. But the derivation was good when I checked the answer
uh,
sheet.
uh, Yuvraj actually said the answer on same day that we can use this Euclidean distance and cosine distance or similarity relationship. Okay, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry for taking long break, but I guess it was needed. Let start with the fresh mind. The next question. What is already solved? Oh, not this one. I'm not going to take this. And this is really, you can say, this thing monster one. It
So
was
Mayur, for this, do we need to remember all the series? I mean, what all series
some
we need to
series, yes.
remember?
Like we have till now, I guess, log n series and some that arithmetic progression series n into n by 2 plus n plus 1, n by 2 into n by plus 1, and one formula from geometric progression a and r, because this is really useful when you have something like this n by 2 n by 2, and this would be case in merge sort and everything divide and conquer algorithm. All will have this n by 2 n by 2 setting, right? And mostly at the end, okay, it is order of n, because sometimes it is mostly a log n kind of thing, but we this is different case. Log
Mm-hmm.
n. So see, this is same as this thing, merge sort. This equation is same as merge sort. Okay, where were we? uh, this we solved, right? N by 2 n by 2 2k order of n. Okay, so this is done now. Okay, no, sorry, this is not done. uh, where were we? Yeah, I just completely forgot. Question number one only we solved, right? Question number one and two.
Question one, three parts we solved.
Okay, that B of n wala question I'm talking about. So it is
There are three parts in that.
three parts.
So
Okay, so this is done. Okay, root n we solved. Okay, one n to the power 1 by
this
2 1 by
also
2.
we solved, correct?
Okay, this is done. Now we are here. Now what this
Mm.
is telling is we have one algorithm called do it. N input is n. When n equal to 1, base condition is n equal to 1, then we will return. Okay, so this will terminate the recursive call. Now it else condition, what we will do, we will make two recursive call of this algorithm of n minus 1 and n minus 1, right? So if I want to write the equation n equal to 1, it is constant at if n is greater than 1, then it would be d constant time 2 for if condition plus t of n minus 1 t of n minus 1. So it is nothing but 2 times t of n minus 1 and d, right? And you can write three equations and generalize it if you are very comfortable, and if you are not, just put the value of t of n minus 1 1 by 1, right? So the equation, what we will get, this is tricky, that's why let's try t of n minus 1. It is nothing but 2 time t of sorry, t of n we have, t of n is 2 time t of n minus 1 plus d. So now what will happen if I put the value of t of n minus 1? It will look something like this. T of, sorry, 2 time t of n minus 2, right? Plus d I am having already. So if I solve it now, I will get something like this. 2 multiplied by 2, it is nothing but 2 square. Don't write 4, right? Because this will be really useful while generalizing it at the kth iteration. So 2 square t n minus 2 plus 2 into d plus d. It is nothing but 3d. 2 plus 1, right? So at this thing, at second step, I am having something looking like this. Now you can generalize it, but to get the more confidence, we can take the next step, right? So this 2 of n minus 2 will look something like this. 2 multiplied by n minus 3 plus d. So 2 multiplied by n minus 3. So if I multiply 2 with 2 square, it would be 2 to the power 3 n minus 3. Then I will multiply this 2 square plus with d, so 4 into d, right? So 4d plus 3d would be 7d. If you are not comfortable, just take one more step here, right? So it is nothing but the third step. Now let's generalize it up to the kth step. How, what it would be? So at second step 2 square, third step 2 cube. So it is 2 raised to k.
And in
Simple.
second, it should be 2D instead of 3D, right? Or am
Yeah.
I missing
No,
it?
no, no. See 2 multiplied by d plus d, no?
Right, sorry, sorry. I
There
missed
is
it.
2 here, no? 2 multiplied by t of n minus 1. Correct?
Correct.
Yes, okay, Pran. So here I am having 4 here, right? 2 square 4. So if I multiply this equation t of n minus 2, then 4 into d I am having 4d out of this multiplication plus 4 plus 3 it would be 7. So 7d. Correct? At third equation I am having 7d. Let me see if I have more. Okay. So at second equation I am having this. At third equation I am having this. Okay. Right. So how to generalize this now? Uh, Okay, so n minus k, it is clear. 2, 1, 2, 3 up to k, so n minus k. Now what is this? 3, 7. So if you think intuitively, this is 1, right? This is 3. Sorry, this is 1, this is 3, this is 7. So it is looking something like this: 2 to the power 1 minus 1, so it is 1. So it is looking something like this: 2 square minus 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. So 7 is nothing but 2 cube minus 1, right? So at k iteration, it would be 2k minus 1, right? We are practicing this aptitude question right now for the screening, right? For the interview. There we will have this kind of series questions, right? So 2k in t, let me see if it is correct or not. 2k minus 1 d, right? Now when this loop will terminate when n equal to 1, so n minus k equal to 1, k equal to n minus 1, boring stuff. Now I need to see like what is 2k minus 1, right? So k is equal to n minus 1, so I can put the k equal to n minus 1. Now what I'm having, this is see, and okay, I completely forgot about this. Okay, 2 raised to k is there, right? So k I need to put n minus 1, right? So n minus 1, this 2k is nothing but 2 raised to n minus 1. T of n minus k is c, because n minus k equal to 1 we have taken, right? Plus 2k is again 2 raised to n minus 1 minus 1 d. So this c and d are both constant, so I can write c plus d as big D, or m k, any constant I can take, right? And I am having some multiplication 2 raised to n minus 1. So 2 raised to n minus 1 is nothing but order of 2n, right? And if you want to break it further, 2 raised to n minus 1 is nothing but not like this. 2 raised to n minus 1 is nothing but 2 raised to n divided by 2, right? And 1 by 2 is constant. 1 by 2 multiplied by c plus d, this everything is constant, so I can write as big C. So it is order of 2n, right? Any questions, guys? Because we have just started, and remember it we will be like solving this example up to 11:45 or 12, mostly 12, right? So let's take one more example. More and more example you will solve, more and more confidence you will get. So how this is looking like is, I'm having okay, let's not talk about this law algorithm. I'm having a recursive equation like this: t of n equal to c if it is equal to n equal to 1. Otherwise it is 2 times t multiplied by n by 2 plus d, right? So I am making two recursive call, right? It is similar like merge sort, but I am not. And b of n can be 1 or n or 1 by n. This is optional actually. This was not given in assignment, I just took it for adventure, right? And definitely it was adventurous. So how to solve this? So similarly, n by 2, so here I am having t of n is defined something like this: 2t n by 2 plus d, right? So if it is n, just divide by 2, whatever the value you have, just divide by 2, right? So I can write t of n by 2 something like this: 2t, just divide by 2. So n by 2, if I divide again by 2, it would be n by 4, right? Plus d. Now, if I multiplied with this 2, so 2 multiplied by 2, it would be 4 or 2 square, right? Not base practice, just write 2 square here. 2 into d, 2d plus d is 3d. Okay. Now I need to make t of n by 4. So if I put t of n by 4 as, what would be the answer? 2t n by 8 plus d. So d multiplied by 4, it would be 4d plus 3d equal to 7d. Similar to previous question, right? Now I want to generalize. This is the third, this is the second iteration call, this is the first iteration call, right? So if I want to now generalize, now how can I generalize? The first term is trivial, 2 raised to power 1, 2 raised to power 2, 2 raised to power 3, so it is 2 raised to power k. And here it is also trivial, n by 2, that is nothing but in denominator I am having 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 4, 2, sorry, this is similar as this. Then 2 to the power 3, I am having 2 to the power k, correct? And this is nothing but 2 to the power k minus 1, similar as previous example, right? 2 minus 1, 4 minus 1, 8 minus 1, like that. Now, when this loop will terminate, when this n by 2 raised to k would be equal to 1, correct? Then and only t of 1 would terminate. So n by 2 raised to k equal to 1, that means 2 raised to k equal to 1. Simple mathematics, if I take log on both side, k equal to log n, right? Now, when k equal to log n, don't put here log n, right? Don't do this mistake. I know that, see, what we have is n divided by 2k, right? N divided by 2 raised to k equal to 1. So I know 2 raised to k equal to n. So this is very useful information. Don't throw it away, right? Then I know k equal to log n, right? So now how it will help? I know 2 raised to k equal to n, so I can put 2 raised to k equal to n directly here. Then n will cancel out. Actually, we have taken n divided by 2 raised to k equal to 1, so this is trivial. But at this part 2 raised to k, I can put directly n. Don't put k equal to log n. 2 raised to log n is equal to n basically, right? But we know this information from the second step, 2 raised to k equal to n. So I can directly put 2 raised to k equal to n here, n multiplied by c plus n minus 1 multiplied by d, right? So what would be the order? It would be order of n, correct? N multiplied by c, n multiplied by d minus d. I can take this constant common, c plus d, it is order of n. Or you just need to look for the highest degree in the polynomial, so highest degree is 1, right? So it is order of n, correct? uh, Guys, it is like feeling easy, or you have already done this all these examples? I'm not facing any questions or anything. Let me take one tough question, then it will make sense. Okay, adventurous question, let's take, right? So this can happen, but hard questions are removed, right? Good news and bad news at same time. So let's take one median question, and this is similar as this thing. This equation is similar as recursive equation of your merge sort, right? So because we need to merge both parts, right? Divided part, we are dividing your array array of size n into n by 2, and I am having two parts of it, right? So I need to merge them, and both part I am again calling merge, right? Sorry, divide, and I will again divide, right? So I am making recursive call of n by 2, and I need to, like, you can say, take all those parts and make it, put it into the list, right? Sort it basically after dividing all my array up to size 1, right? So it is order of n at each level. I am doing some work plus some constant work a, correct? Case number 2 for this algorithm, right? Now let's try to solve it. This is really beautiful. So t of n is defined something like this. if I am having n, just divide by 2 here and put as it is here, right? Okay, so what I need to do is just divide by 2 here. So n by 2 would be n by 4 and just put whatever I am having as it is. So n by 2 as it is plus a. Correct? Now I multiplied by 2, 2 raised to 2, 2 multiplied by 2, 4, t of n by 4 plus this 2 and this 2 will cancel out. So I am having n, right? This 2 and this 2 will cancel out. I am having n plus this n, right? So n plus n is nothing but 2n plus 2 multiplied by a is 2a plus a is 3a, right? Now next call, let's do it in paint. So let me write the equation directly. T of n, we got something like this: 4 multiplied by t of n by 4 plus 2n plus 3a, right? 2n plus 3a, 4t n by 4, 4t n by 4. Yes. Now at next call, what will happen? This t of n by 4, I need to write something like this: 2 multiplied by t, whatever I am having, divided by 2, n by 8, plus n as it is, n by 4, plus d work I am doing, a work I am doing, right? I am having a now, plus 2n was there, plus 3a. Something like this I am having. Yes or no? Yes? Okay. Now what will happen? If I multiplied everything, this 4 2 would be 8, 8t n by 8. Now what will happen? This 4 and this 4 will cancel out. It would be n, and n plus 2n would be 3n. Now 4 multiplied by a is 4a plus 3a, it is 7a. So the series is looking something like this. At third level, I am having, at kth level, what I will have 2k minus 1. Here I will have k already, and here I will have 2 raised to k. Here I will have 2 raised to k. Problem is solved, right? Uh, not the award is given. Okay. So 2 raised to k, 2 raised to k. Here I am having k into n, and here I am having 2k minus 1 into a. When this loop will terminate, when n equal to 1. So n by 2k equal to 1, k 2k equal to n, or k equal to log n. Boring stuff. This step would be almost similar in almost all algorithm. Now this is nothing but order of 1. 2 raised to k is n. So n multiplied by c plus plus k is nothing but log n is n. 2k minus 1 is nothing but n minus 1 multiplied by a. So which is the largest term I am having? It is n log n. I am having n here, I am having n here, and I am having n multiplied by log n here. Right? So the largest term I am having, which is asymptotically growing faster, is n log n. So it is order of n log n. Correct? I can't stop laughing. I have just given this thing in detail step here, and I wrote it in paint. Okay. So let's take this at the like adventurous at last step, because this is really adventurous, because we are getting this crazy stuff. Okay, question number 16. Why, we will see it later. What is that? Okay, so this we already solved. No, this is already solved, I guess. Oh, order of n cube we are having. Let's solve it now. So uh, let's solve for this worst case. That in question number 17 we had this kind of algorithm chart that was given, and we want to find the best case and worst case time complexity, right? So in best case it would be just call 2 recursive call. In worst case it could all 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 call, the largest path. So I have just written it in this thing in formula, right? Recursion equation it is called. So T of n is nothing but 8 multiplied by t divided by n by 2 plus a, and it is here T of n is 2 multiplied by t n by 2 plus a. So how this constant will affect, let's see. So first equation 80 n by 2. Second equation, if I put n by 2, it is nothing but 80 n by 4 plus a. Third equation 80 n by 4 plus 80 n by 8. So if I take all the equation and jumble it all up, jumble up, right? Then I will get t of n. At the second call, it would be 8 square. 8 multiplied by 8, 8 square, t of n by 4 plus 8 multiplied by a is nothing but 8a plus a is nothing but 9a, right? In 9a, you can think of it as 8 plus 1, correct? Now, at second call, what I will have 8 square multiplied by 8, it is nothing but 8 cube, t of n by 8. 8 square multiplied by 8 is nothing but 8 square, plus already I had 8 plus 1 a. So I am having this series here. Okay, this is also monstrous. So you got this idea, right? How why we are having this series? Here I had just one a, then I had one 8a more, 8a. On the third step, I am having 8 square multiplied by a. So I am having 8 square more, one more step, 8 square, right? So at this third equation is looking something like this, right? So if I want to generalize it, what would be the step, right? So at third step, I am having 8 cube. So at kth step, I am having 8 to the power k. At third step, I am having 8. It is 2 to the power 3, right? So at k step, I am having 2 to the power k. At step number 3, I am starting from 2, right? Power of 2. That means 8 to the power 2, 8 to the power 1, 8 to the power 0. 8 to the power 0 is 1. So at k step, I need to start from 1 less than k. 1 less than k is nothing but k minus 1. Yes or no? 8 to the power k minus 1, k minus 2, k minus 3 up to 8 plus 1. Right? Now, this is beautiful. Okay, now let me introduce to one this thing. One what is that called? One concept of geometric progression. If you have GP, right? Let's say, and GP is always something like this. First step A, then I'm having some multiplier 8r, then I'm having ar square up to I'm having n term. So a to the power rn, right? Rn minus 1 mostly. If you want to generalize this, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is nth term, right? Nth term is defined something like this. Okay. Now, if I want to take the sum, summation of geometric progression is defined something like this. S of n is a multiplied by, right, and this is and r is always greater than 1, huh? If r is less than 1, we have one more formula, and you can take actually interchangeably, I don't have any problem. But if you take like in this formation, then it would be really easy to solve. It is r to the power n minus 1 divided by r minus 1. Let me verify it because I don't know. Huh, r to the power n minus 1 r minus 1. Great. Now we have this series, that the series, if you take it in reverse order, it is 1 8 8 square 8 cube 8 4 something like this. So first step is nothing but 1 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 8, like this up to k minus 1, right? So how many steps I'm having? K minus 1 plus 1 k steps I have, right? 1 2 3 4 up to k minus 1, and this step 0. So k plus k terms I'm having. And what is the value of k? Value of k is nothing but log n, right? And you can leave it as it is, no problem with it. K terms I'm having, right? So how to take the summation of it? So summation of all this thing would be a. So a is nothing but first term, right? First term is nothing but 1 multiplied by r. So what is the ratio? 8 divided by 1, ratio is 8. Yes or no? 8. I multiplied by 8 every time. So it is ratio. Ratio is nothing but the term divided by the previous term. 8 square divided by 8 is also 8, right? Raised to n. How many terms I have? K terms I am having, right? So 8 to the power k minus 1 divided by 8 minus 1. Now we solved that n by 2k is equal to 1 and 2k is equal to n. So 2k is equal to n, then 8 to the power k is n cube, right? Simple. 2 to the power k is n. So if I take on cube on both sides, then it would be 2 raised to 3 k is n cube. So 2 raised to 3 multiply raised to k is nothing but 8 to the power k. Right? Some mathematics that we need to perform to solve this series geometric progression, because this is trivial. 8k is n cube. This is trivial order of c, but this is not trivial that we need to find out, right? And I guess this is from school days, that's why it is more likely to forget, right? Now 8 to the power k is nothing but n cube, so the answer is n cube minus 1 divided by 7. 8 minus 1 is 7, right? So if you simplify it, the highest degree we have in this polynomial, degree of this polynomial is 3. That's why it is order of n cube, right? Because we are making 8 calls of n by 2 task, sorry for that, right? And this already we saw, it is order of n, I guess. Sorry, order of log n, I guess. Order of n, yes. Already we solved 2t n by 2 plus a, the previous example, right? Now let's take this, now still not take this. Okay, this is now geometric progression, so this would be now trivial, this tough question. I guess we are done with the day. We have solved almost all type of problems, so this is nothing but we solved it yesterday. If you're interested, I can take it up. I have no problem. I sleep at 12:30, so I have no problem with this. But do you want to solve this, guys? It's your calls. It's just 9 guys there. So I want to ask, like, is it too late, or do you want me to solve this last question?
We'll continue tomorrow. I think it's overwhelming.
Or tomorrow, like as per schedule, I will go as per schedule. So tomorrow, I guess we want to be able to solve this question. Tomorrow, from tomorrow, I guess we are starting this thing.
So, what
It
is plan of
it
tomorrow?
is 29. No, so 29 we have so many things. So this modules library miscellaneous topics, oops in Python. We want to be covering NumPy, pandas, and everything.
Mhm.
Regex, step one thing that we are going to solve is regex, because in mail sir mentioned, I guess, to DP Sharma maybe, that we need to consider regex. So we will say basic operation in regex 1, not 1, I guess. Multi-processing, multi-threading, we can skip it because objective question cannot be made from here. Wave APIs, again we will skip it. But we have two more topics, like big topics, regex and SQL. So all the basics of SQL, I will log in from my Linux machine tomorrow. So there I have SQL installed. So we will try some questions, optional questions we have. But I guess that time also 10 folks only joined. So we will do that again. Right. So tomorrow we will need 2 hours for regex and SQL. Right. So it's your call,
Okay, so
guys.
I'll be covering Python also tomorrow.
Python, like, it is not my league. I can't teach coding basically. I can solve it, I can debug it, but I can't teach it. So that's why we are skipping this Python part.
Okay.
Correct. We will solve those questions from the mock test. Right. What is the value of this, and what will be the output of this code, like that. We will debug that, but this
Mhm.
thing, it's not possible for me.
No problem.
Correct. Okay, guys. So cool. I will solve this, and definitely will. Okay, we can wind up. No problem, guys. It's your call.
Fine, Mayur. Thanks.
Okay, no problem, Rajesh. Anyone
Bye
else,
bye.
guys? Okay,
So
guys.
let's catch
Thanks.
up
Thanks for
tomorrow.
joining.
Yeah,
Huh?
bye bye. Let's catch up tomorrow.
Sure, sure, definitely. Yeah, it's late actually. 11:45 already.
Mm.